All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome into Mid Morning. Dr. Keith Watson is joining me in studio, and Dr. Watson and I came across some slithery friends, per se. And, you know, personally, I didn't know what to do except squeal and take a picture. So, Dr. Watson, you are trying to, like, inform people what to do when we see a snake, and then, obviously, if you happen to get bit, what to do, because I also don't know what to do.
Right, and it's summertime, and people are going out to the rivers, and you're going fishing, and you're outdoors hiking. I mean, you may encounter a snake, and
but maybe not this one.
Not that one.
What is this type of snake?
So that where I grew up, that is a common snake. That is a western diamondback rattlesnake.
There's my little snake in my yard that I saw.
Yeah.
So with the rattlesnake, that thing is huge. That
one is about 6 feet, and western diamondback rattlesnakes get to be about 6 to 8 feet. So that's a pretty good sized snake.
Wow.
And it's highly venomous. It's very dangerous. But where I grew up, that was a thing.
Okay.
So you do have rattlesakes in Mississippi. You just don't have that one.
That one. Yeah. So if I am to see a snake, what is the first thing that you do?
So the first thing, don't panic.
Okay, that's
snakes. Snakes are typically not aggressive. They're not going to harm you.
Oh, okay.
They would prefer that you leave them alone and go on about your business.
Gotcha.
So if you encounter a snake, the simplest thing to do is just turn around and walk away.
Okay, I can do that.
Now, if you're in your yard. And and you have children and that kind of thing, you can take a hoe or a rake or something and shoo it along. And, at worst you could call animal control and they can come catch it and relocate it.
That'd be nice.
And so those are the ideal things. Killing snakes is something that if you have no other option, you do it. But most of the time they're not aggressive. They're not going to hurt you.
Okay.
They just want to live their life, so to speak.
Yeah, they're just slithery
and most of them eat mice and rats and things around your home that you don't want anyway. They're doing good. They're scary to some people.
They're a little scary to me. And then, so you were also saying before we came on that there are 6 venomous snakes in Mississippi, correct? And then we mostly would see, what would you say, around here?
Around here, cottonmouths because they like water. And copperheads.
Okay.
Mississippi does have the coral snake, but it tends to be a little more coastal.
Okay.
And you do have 3 species of rattlesnakes. So you're going to have the eastern diamondback, the pygmy rattlesnake, and the timber rattlesnake. You could have those. If you got out into the woods in the country around here, you could encounter those.
All right, Dr. Watson's going to tell us what to do if you happen to get bit when we come back. Okay, so we hope that nobody ever gets bitten by a snake, but Dr. Watson, you have been bitten by a snake.
I've been bitten by a snake lots of times.
Okay.
None of them ever venomous, though.
Okay, I did not know that. So, you said sometimes that they do not inject their venom into you. It's just kind of a scare-away bite.
Right. Some copperheads will bite and not inject venom.
Okay.
It's more of a defensive thing. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Doesn't mean that you don't need to seek medical care because you don't know whether they've injected venom or not. But sometimes they don't. But non-venomous snakes bite.
Okay.
They just don't inject venom.
So the first thing we need to do when we get bit?
If you get bitten by a snake, the first thing you need to do, understand, is at that point to step away. Okay. Get away from the snake. In the days of technology now, if you've got a phone, snap pictures of the snake.
Oh, okay.
Because then someone who's familiar with snakes can identify whether it is venomous or not. Sometimes you can tell from the bite, sometimes you can't. Obviously, if it's a venomous snake and it bites you and injects venom, you're going to know. Okay. But if you're unsure, get a picture of the snake, get away from the snake, and go immediately to an emergency room. Okay. Seek medical care no matter what.
Now, if you are bitten, do you need to put maybe pressure on the wound or anything, or the bite, or you just need to go to the hospital?
You can put a tourniquet on. Okay. There are some advantages to that, but tourniquets can do damage too.
Oh, wow.
So the easiest thing to do is just snap a couple of pictures, get help. Don't drive yourself.
Okay, that's a good one. You mentioned
You don't want to drive yourself to the emergency room if you're bitten by a snake, because if it is venomous and you get sick, you can't. get help, get someone to take you to an emergency room. If you need to call 911, you can call 911.
Okay.
But you seek medical care. If it's a venomous snake and it injected venom, then there's a protocol and there's antivenom. If it's a non-venomous snake, it still is potentially dangerous because they have teeth.
Okay.
And they can break the skin, and typically do break the skin, and they carry a lot of bacteria in their mouth, and bites, even if they're not venomous, very often get infected. So a snake bite means see a doctor urgently and let the doctor work through whether this was a bad snake or a harmless snake and what you do with it.
All right, Dr. Watson, it was great having you in studio, keeping us informed, guys. We'll be right back after the break.